Hi guys, Sam from Hot Mess Homeschool Mom here, and today I just wanted to bring you a quick little video. Not gonna do a really long one. Just wanted to touch base on something that I have found and have used since the early part of my homeschooling, and it was in regards to trying to improve my daughter's handwriting. In addition to it, it's twofold in that it also assists with her memorization and her ability to speak. So we've been practicing not only her handwriting through Copywork, but also practicing memorization, and also with that, the ability to present it with the idea that it will help in her presentation skills and her ability to be articulate and communicate with people using eye contact, using a strong voice, etc. So in using this quick little system that I put together using a few different tiny little things and tweaking them, we were able to drastically improve her handwriting over the last year, and as well as improve her ability to communicate. Shockingly enough, she doesn't come across it at first, but Levy is actually pretty shy and used to not make direct eye contact, used to be soft-spoken, was very hesitant to put herself out there. So I really wanted to, I guess, give her the skills to, I guess, work on that and improve that and present herself better. As you can tell, I'm somewhat of a strong personality, so I wanted to assist her with those skills that have helped me. So I found this important. So let me get to the point. So basically, again, I used kind of a three-system approach. And the first thing I did was to find content, obviously, to have her copy. And I decided to go with poetry. One, because you can drastically improve your vocabulary by reading words you're not familiar reading. And books that are targeted to their level don't necessarily have these vocabulary words. Additionally, it's beautiful. I mean, when you read a poem out loud, it's poetic. So I wanted to kind of show her syntax and the way that words, alliteration, and how they all kind of flow together, and the beauty of that. So we decided to go with poetry, and I found this really, really cool thing online, of course, and it's called Mensa for Kids, and it's actually a poetry unit. So I'm going to show you this. So this is the one we are currently working on, which is poem 12, Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. I love this one. This was especially poignant to her as we recently, her great-grandmother recently passed. So there was some meaning behind this one, and she cried, I cried when we first read it, but this was really, really helpful during that grief process, etc. So anyway, so that just happened to fall into this time, into this season of our life. So but there's a series. I want to say there's 12 to 13 poems. I don't go in order. I kind of pick whatever I feel like picking, and we do that one for a unit. And there's no set time to a unit. She will, every day I make a copy, and I'll show you what I use to do that. I make a copy of this poem in a Copywork format, and she works on it until she is confident that she has memorized it and is able to present it. So for the shorter ones, obviously, it's a shorter amount of time that she's working on the poem. For the longer ones, To Be or Not to Be was one that took quite a bit. There were a few lengthier poems, Citizenship in a Republic by Teddy Roosevelt. That one took her quite a bit of time. So again, there's no set time limit to this. You use it as you need it, and you let your child lead in their pace. And it builds confidence. At one point, she was challenging herself to see if she could memorize a poem, and I think it was like 3 days, and she did it. And I'll tell you how we I guess, not only keep track of that, but also we record it for her so she can evaluate herself. So again, we use Mensa for Kids, the poetry. If you go to mensaforkids.org, that you can pull up their poetry unit. And it's a cute little packet. I give her the packet to initially start with. We read the poem together. It gives a quick little biography of whatever poet she's working on. Then, again, quick little packet. We do this first. And it'll break down the poem. It'll analyze the poem so she knows, it'll identify those vocabulary words. It will try to build some meaning into a lot of the I guess alluding, I don't even know what word I'm looking for. Again, struggling with my words, sorry guys. But it'll break down the poem into more simplistic explanations so she knows what she's reading. And then the second page is giving you tips on how to memorize it, the rhyme scheme. This is Villanelle. So we did a poetry unit so she knows the different types of poems. So it will give her tips on how to memorize it. So we do that. And then the last one, just a quick little fill in the blank. She didn't actually do this one. She was like, Ma, I got it. Like, well, I'm just gonna work on the Copywork. So we did. And that's, again, the one we're currently working on. So I didn't happen to grab any of her current. I grabbed her notebook from last year because I wanted to show you an example of one, what we're using, how you can customize it, and also the difference in her handwriting by using the system. So this was an older one. We used No Man is an Island by John Donne. And the thing I use to create these worksheets, and I'll zoom in so you can see how they are aligned. You can actually, I leave them blank, but there is a format on this website that I use that you can actually do traceable. And I use that initially when working with Little Dude. I'm not going to show you his because he's currently working on our address, and I'm going to not share my personal information online. So I did not show you Little Dude's, but it's the same idea. But initially with his, I did traceable. Now he's at the point he doesn't need it. But anyway, so this is what I use. I used worksheetworks.com, and they have a bunch of different templates you can use. I use the writing. You can customize as to how you want the text to show up. If you're using, you can use script. If you're incorporating script, there is, oh goodness, Danielian. So there's, again, different fonts depending on what you're using. Danielian? Fact check me on that. Anyway, we don't use it. I don't believe so. We just use regular. So you can do line size as well. Initially, I did bigger writing. She's now at the point where we're using smaller lines because I obviously want her writing to be smaller, tighter, neater. But initially, we were using larger lines. So this is fully customizable, which I love because then I can just copy and paste the poem into this, structure it how I want it to be. Sometimes it formats weird where you'll get like a one word on a line, but whatever, she's still getting it. The longer poems, it typically doesn't tend to do that. So worksheetworks.com. I see a lot of things on a lot of the homeschool sites. Where can I get Copywork? You can make your own. Like you can literally make whatever you want on this Worksheet Works, however you want it to show up. And I run these off daily. They do Copywork every single morning without fail. So this is what we use to do Copywork. So again, repetition and practice is key. It builds those neural pathways, etc. So this was an initial, so you can kind of see. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, she was 8, so pretty standard. But now we have this. So I don't know if you can see kind of the difference. To me, I see drastic improvement. And again, it's getting better every day. It depends on her mood. It depends on her day. It depends on whether or not she just wants to get through it and get to whatever it is next. So some days I'll see she's rushing, and I can tell by her actual handwriting. Sometimes I'm the mean mommy and I'm like, that's not your best work. Please do it again. Sometimes, again, depends on her mood, depends on my mood. You know, some days I can see the perfectionist tendencies being an issue, and I don't really want to feed that particular beast that day, so I just let it ride, because I know over the long haul it has shown improvement. So that's what I use. And then as far as memorization, we used to break the larger poems into smaller parts. So she would memorize one part, then she would memorize the second part, and then we would put it all together. She is now at the point where she is just completely memorizing it. And what we do is we record it. I record it on my phone. I post it to my personal Facebook page for family and friends, also to our personal homeschool site. So she has a record of all of these wonderful poems that she has memorized. I store these. I keep them in a binder, and then one more part that I make her do is I will have her recite it to 3 people in addition to the video. Usually her dad, you know, her aunt, somebody she will have to recite this to, and then I actually make her write it out on regular lined paper, and we store that with this. So it's a 3-part system. It works for me. You can pull poems offline. You can have them memorize whatever you want, but I feel like memorization in this particular sense is important, not necessarily because you want them to have all of these awesome poems in their head, but again, memorization is important, especially in the classical model, and you are, by imitating or copying other authors' styles, they are, by osmosis, they are actually incorporating that into their own writing, and it starts to come across when you see them actually writing their own stories. It's strange, but you can actually see that osmosis in it, how it transfers over into their own writing. So that is my quick little blurb on Copywork, memorization, and I guess rhetoric. That's what we do, and it works for us, and it has improved her handwriting. It has improved her ability to memorize. It has broadened her literary horizons, and I really like this system. This has worked well for me. So check it out, try it out. Let me know if nothing else. If you get nothing else out of this, worksheetworks.com. You can make your own worksheets. So again, if you like this video, please like below, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support as always. And in the comments below, let me know if you have a system you use that you like, what your thoughts are about this, and any other helpful websites you might use as far as either resources for poems and or making your own worksheets. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.